happy Friday, everybody. I'm Christopher Dahl. Welcome to Space Art by Christopher Dahl, coming to you live from the Space Art by Christopher Dahl studios. Good to see you, everybody. And hello, Nanu. Yeah, I've got Pickles says hi, but she's like right here behind me. We're getting the stretch. We might get the. There we go. Okay, we got the. We have the Pickles cam. There she is. Hello there, sweetie. Here we go. She insisted on coming down here. So yes. Usually I try to not I should let the cats roam through here, but as you can see, I have toxic materials out here. I have coffee paint. No. Okay, so now she's wandering. Okay, I think I woke her up by blathering about, hey, welcome aboard, everyone. Welcome back to the studio, and we are gonna do some painting. Pickles. Yeah, she said, oh no, she's walking away. She apparently is camera shy. Had internet issues. It just came back up. Hey, how you doing, Bob? How you doing today? Thank you for joining. Sorry about the internet issues. Yeah, we had some that dropped during our during the whole thing. Okay, come on, let's go. Come on, you silly. Okay, she's looking at me, which means she's gonna crawl up my leg. Pickles is not. I adore the cat. I adore all the cats. Pickles is not dexterous. Let's put it this way. Come here, sweetie. Come here. All right, I'll help you. Here we go. All right, cat cam. There we go. This is everyone. I'll try to get her to a point where she doesn't put her paws right in the. See, camera shy. There we go. This everyone. Here you go. Just put your arms up there like a shelf, like I've taught you. There you go. Okay, cool. All right, there we are. Woohoo! She's a cat. We worshipped her, so she's satisfied. Her subjects are doing as they should. Exactly. Hey, say hello to everybody. And she's gonna sniff the microphone. There we go. Yeah. She's adorable. She loves being with people, and it drives her nuts when I come into the office and shut the door. Well, it drives all of them nuts when they come in and shut the door. But you know, we're gonna let them do their thing for right now. I actually have been. Let me see if the camera will actually work here. This is pretty hilarious. We've started the spring planting here. Let's see. Moving this out of the way. A little tour of the old. There we go. So that's the stairwell, right? And there's there's like potatoes, and believe it or not, the big bins actually have potatoes in them, and a whole bunch of herbs. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out because honestly, I'm fully expecting this shithead to go over there. I'm sorry, Pickles. She's adorable. The last thing I want her to do is dump one of those down the stairs, which has already happened at least once. Hey. So anyhow, but welcome aboard. There we go. She's gonna go ahead and just she's gonna observe. She'll be the peanut gallery, right? There you go. How you doing, sweetie? There you go. Just curl up. It's nap time. Nap time for cats anyway. So, hey, Wes is here. How you doing? Greetings. Happy Friday. Bingo. Yeah, but, yeah. So, there we are. Got my nice little setup here. I've been trying to keep trying to adjust things, and I really liked having the canvas up. So, we're gonna do the big canvas. But I've got the one from last week. Check this out. I know that some of you were waiting on one of the small paintings that I did, and the paint hadn't dried. But look at this. We did this last week, and this one, it's pretty much across the board. I could varnish this today after 1 week. And, you know, the difference is I had used previously this is a solvent-free. I'm not going to be bagging. Here, let's go back to this. I'm not bagging on the products. This stuff actually works. I have used it. I was using this solvent-free fluid by Gamblin, which it doesn't. It's because it's solvent free. It naturally is gonna be a little bit slower, but that's not the problem that I faced. The problem that I faced with it, because I think it's mostly safflower oil anyway. The problem I faced with it is I was also mixing it with my linseed oil. So I think I introduced the issue with it. But anyhow, so that last week's painting, I'm pretty much going to work with liquid. I've got it to the point where the fumes don't really bother me. That was an issue. The solvent thing was kind of troubling. But you know, using in small quantities and you have a good fan, it's not bad. So anyhow, yes. Effectively, my space paintings I was waiting to dry. We're waiting the natural lifespan of oil paint drying. Yeah, means she is a Klee cat. Okay, yeah. Hey, Oh, she's back. We're back. Okay, cool. She said no. We're gonna hang out with me again. Okay, so it'll be painting with cats. So the problem with this is, especially with oil paints, what'll happen is one of these bozos will run across my palette, and there's gonna be cat prints all across the all across the room. Here, I'm just gonna slink on over a little bit so I can more comfortably hang out. There we go. Let's just see how long she hangs out for this, shall we? Okay, yeah, she might. She's kind of in nap mode anyway. But there we go. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. It's Happy Friday, by the way. Appreciate it. The drink of the week. So we've got we've got Space Pig coffee. Space Pig coffee. Yeah, more coffee. Hey, greetings. How you doing? But. Maury, but not happy. Hello, greetings. Hey, we're all hanging out. It's space painting at the end of the world, right? Here we go. Cheers, everyone. Fueled by coffee, this live stream is. Oh, you're just ridiculous. And then claws on the knees. Yeah, this might be so distracting. Yeah, human, make room. I am climbing aboard. This is the name of the game. Trust me. Waking up in the doll household usually involves a cat just crashing on your face, and that's it. You're done. You're ready to go. you came to thank the broadcast. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, I brushed my head. It might not have come up on the camera, but there's the haze of cat hair. It's springtime. Yes. Anyhow, alrighty. I think before I officially get rolling with this in a couple of minutes, I might excuse our patron guest here. Cool, sure. Hey, thanks. I've got the old Wonderfest. I got this one in 23. I missed last year. It was the year before, but yes, indeed. And shout out to all of my Wonderfest pals. I hope that it's a great year. Moribund says, I needed to design a spaceship for my book, and you were great help. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Well, I'm glad to help you out. Designing the ships. I have not done a lot of spaceships in the last few weeks, and I'm feeling the need. In fact, tonight we might get back into that a little bit. Excellent. Yeah, this Wonderfest shirt. I think this was the staff. Was this the Wonderfest show shirt? I can't remember if it was that or if it was the staff shirt that year. It might have been the staff shirt because they don't often sell them. And I managed to snag one. I said, I think I was standing there right when they opened up the sales. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go and get me one of them. So there we go. Spaceships for books. It's wild. I have no book cover commissions at the moment, which there's a time in my life I would have been a little concerned about that. But we're on a little different trajectory here. If you've noticed, if those of you that are following me, we've got some new paintings coming up, and I'm hell-bent on making that a fairly regular occurrence. So we have several in the store this week. I posted them over on Facebook and Instagram. I think I posted them in the clear on Blue Sky and YouTube. So check them out. It's fun to finish them up and get them in the store. That's going to be fun. The sort of meta goal for 2026 and Space Art by Christopher Dahl, I wanted to crank out some paintings, and we have so far been on it. So now they're starting to get finished. Oh yes, of course. Oh, sorry. Oh boy, excellent. Yes. Was that a toy, or was that just your cord to your headphones? Always a toy. Anyhow, so yes, a lot of paintings going on. If you are interested, I put a link. I can put the other link on here. Did I put this already? Yes. Let's see. Patreon. Yes. If you want the inside scoop, head on over to my Patreon. I've got free stuff over there, including the Crazy Tales of Musicland 812. I know. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that there's fun stuff to be seen on my Patreon, even if you don't subscribe. But if you do, for $5 a month, we are doing extra live streams. Right now, it's landing on Sundays at about the same time. So if you're so inclined, check it on out. Got some cool stuff going. I started our where is it here? I have started the bigger version of this Devil's Tower and the Moonlight painting, and we are going to, in fact, it's sitting off camera over here. And we are going to work on that a little bit. Plus, I'm also considering running some Patreon Q&A sessions. Topics like, do I go to art school? Yes or no? Q&A on techniques and oil painting. So we're going to get into some fun stuff. Maybe not oils necessarily. Yes, I feel like I'm still getting my legs on oils. I've been painting with oils for years. I had a little break from it, and so now I'm kind of back in hip deep and having fun. In fact, we're going to use them tonight. Okay. All right, first things first. We are going to shift on over to the screen there, and forgive me, and maybe I should give her a goodbye here. We are going to be giving a goodbye to Pickles. Thank you. And I will be right back because I can't paint with this cat in my lap. Unless I'm going to paint with the cat, that could be chaotic. Whoop, no, that was really cool. Neat. Come on, guys. Here you go. There you go. See ya. Neat. All right. Excellent. Yanked out the phone cable. There we go. I keep threatening cat live streams, I know, but it's just the chaos. I tell you, the madness and the chaos. Oh my gosh. There we go. Here we go. Bump. There it is. Okay, cool. Hey, I interrupted your artistic presentation, but I was curious. Do you believe in aliens? Hey, thank you. Now, you are not interrupting at all. We will get right into it. Do I believe in aliens? That's a tricky question because, my belief is inconsequential, whether or not aliens actually exist or not. Let me get things rolling here. I'm gonna fill out. I'm gonna use a couple of things here. I do want some refined linseed oil on hand, and I want a little bit of my liquid. And we will get right to it. Aliens. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing today? Good to see you. Welcome over. Oh yeah, right up. We've got the Space Pig in the house. Awesome. And the prevailing question: do you believe in aliens? So it's tricky. Do I believe that aliens have eaten my Buick, for instance? Yes, I love Thomas Dolby. Thank you. No. All right. Yeah, I subscribe to the, Drake equation and Carl Sagan interpretations that it is it's statistically improbable that we are the only living creatures on the only planetary body in the universe. I think that would actually be that's what I'm looking for. That would be pretty arrogant presumption, right? Hey, aliens! I am believe Space Pig. Space Pig's cool. I love Space Pig. So, let's see. Do I believe they're visiting us? It's fun to think about. I'm not going to lie. I love thinking about whether or not there could be aliens here. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible we've been visited. It's entirely possible the human species has been manipulated genetically. Yes, I believe. So I'm open to that. I am 100% open to that notion because we just drop in for about 100 years or so, if we're lucky, in the mix. They lock their doors when they go by. Yeah, you aren't kidding. So on the fundamental level, absolutely. I think life exists in many places. I think we're going to find life existing within our own solar system in some pretty crazy places. In particular, coming up, I think in 6 years, maybe 6 or 7 years, we will have a helicopter flying through the air, the atmosphere of Titan. That's going to be really effing cool. Let me tell you, that's going to be, it's a giant quadcopter that's just going to fly or buzz around and sample stuff. So that's, yeah. There's a lot of places where I think we're going to find life. Intelligent life. I mean, it's really strange. Even if you saw it, would you recognize it? I don't know. I also, though, kind of dovetailing into this, I'm not convinced that the things that are being reported as UFOs are necessarily made by aliens. There's, yeah, it's pretty tricky. And the theory behind that goes something like this: if the flight paths are possible in the crafts that are being described, we're probably not that far away from constructing the apparatus necessarily to make that, and probably had the ability to do so for a very long time. So I think that there could be an element of there's some shit we don't know about that humans have built. So yeah, it's boring to believe they don't exist. I agree. Yeah, we're artists. We need this. I totally agree. Yeah, DJI drones on Titan. Exactly. So, I entertain the notion that humanity and the Earth. What's the one of the Fermi theory? One of the big theories is, well, there's the dark forest theory saying that okay, they're all out there, but nobody wants to say that they're there because you're going to get murdered by berserkers or something, which is always possible. You never know. But I think it's more like this. If there are beings, we're probably in a managed preserve, I think. It's entirely possible that the solar system we live in right now, everything from the sun on out, has been manipulated on a grand scale to create essentially an intelligent species of some flavor over very long periods of time. I can't confirm or deny the existence of such proceedings. Exactly. We'll never know, right? We will just never possibly know. It's tricky. If one showed up in my backyard today, all gray with his beady black eyes, I'd be like, cool. Hey, want a cat? Okay. But, I've seen a bunch of fun drone and robot tech and concepts at JPL. Oh my gosh, I bet you have. I forgot that you were. I forget sometimes the exposure. They even let me try the drone control simulator. Such incredible tech. Oh my gosh, the drones flying at Titan is so exciting to me. I think that's super cool stuff. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to. I still haven't. Let me pop this on over a little bit more. There we go. There we are. I want to get the whole thing in here a little bit. Move that out of the way. I want a cat. All right, Nando, we can set you up. We can set you up. we actually we kind of step back from adopting them out. However, we do reserve the we do reserve adoptions to friends, family, cohorts, and those in our circle of friends. So anytime, let us know, Nanu. The cats are the only reason they would come. Exactly, right? The cats would be the only. They're like, we're just checking in with your overlords. And then down the road here, there's some alien observer going, okay, they're feeding the overlords, the humans. This is they're feeding the overlords, and let's see, taking out their litter. All right, cool. Mission accomplished. Yeah, if the Gray showed up, he'd be like, "Hey, Thor, you made it. Hey, I'll get the beer." Yes, I totally would. Let's see. Houdini, except maybe Vogons who want to blow up the Earth to make way for a hyperspace bypass, which would probably be the case. Alrighty. Let me, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to grab a little round scrubby brush here. Set that aside. Let me get a little drawing going on here, and to get started, I would like I've got my palette of paint here. Let's see. So let's see. I've got it in a smaller glass, and then I'm going to be mixing it, hopefully, so you can kind of see it on the camera here. Let's see. All oil paints, titanium white, I'm bouncing with 2 yellows here. I've got a Hansa yellow light, which is sort of a green shifted yellow, plus my cadmium yellow pale light. Um, and this is actually a transparent orange. This is Indian yellow, I think. So like a transparent orange yellow, very potent. And then I have kind of my earth tones set up here. I'm trying a little different layout in the palette. So burnt umber, burnt sienna, and yellow ochre, I believe. And then we get into the magentas. I don't have my reds out here. I will pull a red out when I need it. But I do have my magenta. There's a Viridian green on here that I want to try. I'm not sure if I'll use it today, but it's on here. And my 2 blues are Phthalo Ultramarine with an addition of this Inden Throne. Inden Throne is a very indigo color. So I am going to just mix up a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of my... I'm kind of going to work this in an interesting way here. Let's see. I'm going to try to wedge this out here so we can get a little paint in here. My burnt umber is really thick stuff, so I'm gonna just take a little bit here. There we go. And as you can see, it's already coming off as almost black, but it has got a very brown tone to it. If you add a blue, I'm gonna add my Inden Throne, and I actually want a little touch of my medium here, just to thin it all out. There we go. Their ships hung motionless in the air, much the same way that bricks don't. The Vogons. I feel overdue for a rewatch of the BBC Hitchhikers series. That was always a fun one for me. Okay, need more blue. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just grab some phthalo to go with it there. As much as I love the indigo blue, it's semi-transparent and fights with some of these. There we are. Although by doing phthalo, I am introducing some... Oh, no, this is good. This is good. It's a warmer one. Warmer color. So we're okay. Okay, cool. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Where did my thing go? I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Get some paint off there. Paint off there. Take a second, thin this down to a point, and always palette management is always the thing. There we go. All right, I think I will move my camera up just a bit. Bear with me here. There we go. Ha! I think I could do that. Yeah, there we are. Ha ha da 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 da. All right, there we go. So yeah, don't really know what I'm going to paint here today, but I haven't done a spacecraft and a nebula-ish spacey kind of thing, so I don't mind trying something like that. Yeah, I'm just getting I'm whittling my brush in here just to while my brain sort of racks to do a ship. I love doing kind of the Berkey style ships as explorers. That's always kind of, and I haven't done one of those in a while. Oh, I guess I did. My my jump gate paintings are pretty close to that, but I want to kind of want to try it here. So, all right, making the call. Let's just get a. I think I would like. I'd like the vehicle, the ship, to be up this way or down low. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm kind of gonna just draw this, right? I'm gonna draw this with my. I'm gonna just basically use my brush and my paint here, kind of like just a big pencil. And in my brain, let me see what, again, exploration ships of some sort. And I'm always kind of paying attention to the perspective in here. even when I'm drawing. It's a very dry canvas. I might have to change that a little bit. But in the meantime, let's see. So I'm thinking that this is going to be kind of a wide chunk of the ship that's a habitation module. And what we're basically seeing is a drive section sticking out of the top of it. Drive meaning like the engines, right? The engines, if you will. And I think I want to do that. My inspiration for today's spaceship is kind of coming from that 70s era Galactica, Buck Rogers kind of stuff. So I'm going to see if I can pull this off in oils today. And if I get it to a point where I can't work it anymore because it's too wet, we'll just pick it up and I'll continue it on another session then. Here we go. But what I'm just trying to do, if I'm in a mode right now where I'm envisioning in my head the shapes I want to introduce, and the forms, if you will, and I just would like to. Oh gosh, this could be a very strange one. We're actually seeing the back end of it, by the way. We're looking at the back end of the ship. Love those ships. Thank you. I kind of did too. You know, a lot of greeblies, but some very specific shapes, right? I keep seeing the ship designs because I'm not actually watching the new Battlestar Galactica. The actress that played Starbuck, Katie Sackhoff, is doing her rewatch of Galactica, posting them on her Patreon and YouTube. I don't have I'm not on their Patreon account. I'm considering it though because oh my gosh, it's been fun. She's never watched the show. Anyway, the short of it is I'm seeing some of the classic designs like the mining ship, right? And then the prison barge ship, which is a very particular one and has the same sort of thing. 70s, 80s spaceship design was awesome. I think so too. Yeah. So we'll do a little, let's see, like a little bridge section up here, and then this is going to be a very aggressively, you know, greebleed kind of section along in here. And our engines, I kind of have like that Excelsior impulse deck thing going on, but our engines are going to be, I'm going to leave this kind of open right now because I want this part to be sort of glowing, if you will. I'm going to do the cool parts of the painting, the cool blues and things are going to be in the engines. Maybe even bring in a nice magenta to it. It'll be over here in the engines. Now, where is this ship, you might ask? I had a couple of thoughts about this. Let me just get some of this stuff in here. There we go. I wanted this to be like a there's a couple of destinations. I was thinking about, I think this came up during our last live stream. Someone mentioned Betelgeuse, the bright red hot star that is the top of Orion, right? And it's a red giant, and it's huge, right? It's an enormous star. There's speculation now that it brightens and dims, which is unusual for a star, and they thought maybe it was going to explode. It probably is. Let's be serious. Betelgeuse, yeah, say it 3 times. Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is a gigantic, red, freaking, ridiculous star that, if you were in the star system and looking at it, it probably doesn't look like just a bright disk like ours does, you know, unless you're looking at it without sunglasses. It very likely has an extended corona around it. There's speculation that it has either just eaten another star or there's another star. Like, it's actually a binary star. There's actually two stars around. I don't know if that's been disproven yet or not. But anyway, why that's important. There's some weird stuff going on. And some of the not games, but some of the space, like Space Engine and Universe Sandbox and stuff, they actually have they depict Betelgeuse and similar stars as basically being brighter clouds of stuff, right? So one of my thoughts was maybe this is this ship right here may be like an armored, built for the mission. Hey, we're gonna go into a very hostile, very hot environment, right? Oh, it's cool. I have an extended Corona tool. Yeah, you have an extended Corona too. Right at the waist. Hey, me too. Yeah. I'm reducing the Corona. I promise. I really am. Anyway. All right. Very fun. Okay, so we're gonna need. I might prefer single malt Scotch. Over a Corona any day. Yes, indeed. There we go. So I'm going to continue with some stuff here. I hesitate to completely fill this because I know what's going to happen. All this is wet oil paint. It's going to hate me, I swear. Look, I even have a spot of yellow on here. I was a little concerned that this canvas I'm using might not have had gesso on it. I think I did gesso it, so I'm going with it. It acts like I did, which is really great. Okay. Whoa! I just set my brush in the wet paint. Nice job, Chris. Brilliant, brilliant. Stop doing shit like that. Okay, cool. Things that artists do. All right. Well, I think I've just talked myself into painting this as a exploratory mission to Betelgeuse. Oh, you know what this thing needs? You know what this spaceship needs? I know exactly what this spaceship needs. This spaceship needs a gigantic radar dish so it can send data back to Earth. And so maybe that's what this all is up here. Let me do a there we go. It's kind of tilted up, right? A Hello Kitty logo. Yeah, I'll put that on the side. You know, sponsorship, right? Exactly. All right, well, we're going to give it a little 2001 here because you can't just have one of these dishes. You have to have several, right? So we'll put another one down here, and then the other one will be back kind of here. There we go. And of course, you know, we've got this thing going on, the center of it with little bits like that, and I can probably just build this whole thing up this way. That's really cool. Okay, cool. So there we are. And of course, why not have some down here? Because that's the way we roll. Remember, folks, I love all the fiddly bits. I love the fiddly bits. Maybe one off over here. This one's a little wider this way. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just do that. And we'll add more fiddly bits as we go. It's a giant ship. The people live in here. Okay, this like round thing. And then this giant engine is like hacked onto the thing. And it just pushes the whole... We're looking at the back. It's kind of flying this way. Zoom. It's like doing this. There we go. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Trying to make it look like it's actually, yeah, doing that. Oh, did I get off center? I think I did. Well, kind of. Yeah, okay, cool. Well. And then technically there would be a little bit of action down in here, sort of shading style. There we go. Okay, very fun. I don't even want to touch this thing yet. I'm gonna move on to the star itself. Okay, how do I want to do this? Okay, I need to think about my strategy for this. While I'm doing that, welcome aboard, everybody. If you're just joining, I am Christopher Dahl. You're watching Space Art by Christopher Dahl. I'm doing some painting. There we go. All right, that's what I'm doing. Yes, and you're welcome to join along. All right. I'm also not rushing through it. I recognize that the illustrious Bob Ross absolutely would have been. Where did I set that? Jeez, Chris. The illustrious Bob Ross would be done with this painting by now. His shows are only 20 minutes long, for crying out loud. There we are. Okay. Did I drop that? And also the moment when he drops his damn brush. Oh, there it is. There we go. It was hiding. Okay. So I'm feeling like we're gonna have. Let me art direct this a little bit. Right down here in this corner is where we're gonna have the Beetlejuice, and it's gonna be cast. Oh, in theory, I should have it up here. Over here, side by side. No, it kind of fits down here. We're gonna put it down here. Triumvirate, rules of three, that sort of thing. Nah, I can't do that because I just put my shadows under here. Damn it. Okay. No, we'll work it out. Yeah, maybe about right there. Okay. It's gonna be lit from somehow. In theory, I was planning on the light being from where this direction is up here coming down. But to put it up there, ooh, what if I just did the whole? What if I did Beetlejuice behind this? In the round and just let it trail off. That's aggressive. I'm gonna do it. Okay, there we go. Right. I'm gonna cue up a little bit of orange here now. So I'm gonna depict Beetlejuice in the orange. Oranges and yellows primarily. Okay. Let's see. I think I had to think about this for a second. We are going to go dark in the background, and all right, I'm just going to do it. What the heck? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try mixing up a suitable glowy orange color. That's the term I'm going to use, and I'm going to be keeping it in the warms here because it is the light source. I will tone it down a bit. I'm mixing it. Okay, I don't even have my there we go. Maybe you can see I'm trying to mix up kind of a yeah, like that color. I'm mixing up kind of a mid-tone orange that I could use to depict the scene. What did I just put everything on there? Okay, cool. Anyhow, yeah. It's all for fun, everybody. It's all for fun. What was that was on there? Oh, geez. Something was on that. Okay. Neat. Oh, was that what that was? Yeah. I think I just put my hands in the safflower oil. Neat. I would like, with that, maybe a touch. This is where I'm going to try. Yeah, there we go. Just a touch of the Viridian. I've been learning about some different colors as part of my continuing education, and I'm finding some neat things. Like I've used Viridian green, but I wasn't really using it what it was intended for. Viridian green, semi-transparent, is really good when you're working in the grays. It helps you push things to a cool. And I forget that sometimes. So one of my little side lessons that I give myself in painting is kind of understanding some of that. Yeah, it's been exciting. Okay, so this is going to be the halo color around this star. And if I pull this off right, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to try this. Maybe this is the wrong orange, yellow. I don't know. There's no way to really know, honestly. So with that in mind, I'm going to grab I'm going to grab that guy. Yeah, I've got a Filbert. My Filbert, there's actually a little yellow in that. Yay! And we're gonna firing it up. Grab myself a little liquid on there. Mix that on in so we get this to the right consistency, and we'll be ready to roll. Yeah. Okay. This is where they say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. All right, what I'm going to do is I feel like the halo. I know. Oh, this is like cat shit. Not cat shit, sorry. This is like cat vomit yellow is what this is. And this is way too, the canvas is way too dry for me to do this. Okay, hang tight. I'm going to correct that right now. Bum ba da ba 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 da boo doo doo. A little wider brush. I'm going to do a little touch of, hang tight, folks. I'm going to apply a thin, very, very thin coat of liquid and my base oil. There we go. Okay, I should have done this before. There is no wrong in art. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate it. I dig our community. There is no wrong. Exactly. I will leave room for that's pretty messed up, which I've done. I've done pretty messed up before. You know, there's room for that. And there's also room for, oh shit, well, how am I going to rescue this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are the times I have struggled the most with paintings that you have seen me working on here when I'm like not like I don't have a solid idea of what I'm doing. I probably got to the studio way late, forgetting that it was Friday, and you know that kind of struggle, right? There we go. All right, this is what we needed. All right, that's kind of what I was hoping for. See, a little bit of there we are. That's what we wanted. A little bit of our stuff. I didn't want that. I didn't want that squiggle, but we'll cover it. It's all going to be covered in post anyway, right? This is where you get into kind of that wet on wet you would see with Bob Ross. He often worked wet on wet in this fashion, and that was also where you get some pretty cool effects, right? Like a tiny amount of paint is gonna tone this canvas nicely, which is exactly what I wanted it to do anyway. So I'm gonna work on the top part over here first, and then I'll do the same for the other side. Here we go. So in theory, this corner is like kind of like where the core of Beetlejuice the star actually is, versus Beetlejuice the crazy ghost played by what was his name? Michael Keaton. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have, while I'm doing this, generally speaking, I've actually found a couple of paintings that I very badly want to take another crack at from early on in the live stream. So that's going to be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's get some thicker paint down here to get this thicker. Want a little bit more over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have brush strokes for. I'm gonna have brush strokes for a while. That's just the reality of life here, but that's okay. And it's funny. I was mixing it, thinking this is going to be pretty dark. Now that I kind of see it on the light of the canvas, it's definitely could still go darker, which to me is actually pretty good. I don't mind that in the slightest. Okay, here we go. Well, while I'm working this, I'll just take a second and run some paint over here on the edges, because that's the way we roll around here. There we go. All right. There we go. Alrighty. Hey, Andrew. Andrew, Anyone Designs. Greetings. How you doing? I like seeing brushstrokes. Thank you. Good thing, because we've got piles of them. We will be having more. It's all good. Thanks for joining. This is really cool. Yeah, we're welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Painting space things at the end of the world. That's real. I don't mean to be that down about things. I really don't. It's getting better. Things are gonna. I know. What? What are you talking about? What news are you reading? Yeah, trust me. The right things are happening. So we'll be pretty soon. We'll be through this mess. Anyhow, okay. So that was pretty cool. Let me take a sec here. All right, and then clean all this up. I made a mess, is what I made. Okay. All right. So I kind of wanted to go dark of space on this side, but that interface between these two is going to be really tricky. So I've got to work this one pretty hard. I didn't even end up using this one. I'll save this brush for later. There we go. I will save that one for later. Saving it for later. Okay. There we go. Same with that one. I've been working on repainting and mixable oils. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like repainting older ones. One of my first paintings in acrylic to see the difference. Ooh. I got to be honest with you. Every time I have sat down to repaint an older painting, I have not been disappointed. Mostly because the only paintings I'll probably repaint are ones that I was like, okay, that was okay, but I didn't kind of miss the mark a little bit. And, that's cool. So, yeah. Are you working with oils today? I am. Yes, indeed. We are working today with. I'm not sponsored, but I'm using like Gamble. I've got a whole pile of them here. So yes, I'm working with oils, and my medium, which I want to make sure I mention. I'm using little Liquin Original. There we go. I'll rejoin you from our Mexican restaurant. Excellent. I would like a plate of tacos al pastor, please. There we go. Yeah. And, acrylic paintings make an excellent base for oil paintings, which is really cool. And sometimes they don't need a lot. Sometimes, they need more. But, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I think that the trick here for me is going to be to get into, to pass quickly into the grays and magentas into dark, if you will. So, hey, Dave Fletcher's here. How you doing? Happy Friday to you, too. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. We are in the midst of some. This is going to be tricky. This is sort of a exploration spacecraft sent to take close observations of the star Betelgeuse. That's where we're going with this one. And yeah, let's see how this actually works. This is a conundrum. So I can come in from this side and do space from behind, or I can work on the interface in between the two and then darken it. I think that's actually the way I need to go. I think I have to directly address how I get from this color to something much darker, and that's going to be tricky. So I'm gonna start in on it. We will see how this actually works. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to go into the magentas. Probably into a, yeah, there we go. I'm going to end up making what's effectively a chromatic black, if you will. And maybe I can, the minute, the minute I introduce white, I'm doomed. But I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see, there we go. Okay. No, that's actually pretty cool. All right, I know you can't see what I'm working on. I am working on a color. I'm going to see if I can make this work. So, it might be a good interference color. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, nothing up my sleeve. I'm going to grab this brush here. Here we go. And hey, thank you all for those of you that are following me on Patreon. Thank you so much for following along. I know that I've had some pretty crazy posts between comic strips and old stories of record stores that I worked at in the 80s. I know it's a little strange, but hey, A lot of that is an exercise I'm giving myself in capturing scenes and writing. So yeah. Oh, this is going to be good. There we go. I think I'm going to have to mix up more of this paint, but until I have to, I'm going to use it. So I will get that down below there. Work this as the interference color. Maybe interference isn't the right word. I guess this is like the, yeah, where the whatever the effects of Beetlejuice the star end and space begins. That's what I'm going to be working on. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. It's kind of very, very wide. I want to bring it up from the bottom here a bit more. I don't really want that much. So we're going to do this. Okay. And let me see. I'm just gonna force the issue here. I'm gonna make it do what I want it to, is what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna, yeah. So I kind of have this thing going on up here. And that out of there. All right, there we go. Yeah. So you get some color in, it just starts to become fun. I'm bringing in some of the black that I used to draw the ship here, just to pull this on in. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Do I also work on digital? Ant P81 is asking. I do indeed work on digital. Yes, I do. In fact, pretty much all of my book covers, one way or another, were manipulated or otherwise affected, or some of them entirely created digitally. Yeah, I did a lot of digital work in my career, either as a designer or I was briefly in the game industry in an era when you wouldn't even consider them games anymore. It's yeah. But yeah, a lot of the work on my site, you'll see, especially if you look in the book covers, there's a lot of stuff there that's digital. Yeah. I have a very nice Cintiq here that my lovely wife and daughters gifted me after the move, and I adore it. Yes. So anyhow, very cool. All right, let me come in. I'm gonna see if I can. Hey, Edward Bartlett's here. Greetings. How you doing, Edward? How's it going today? Good to see you. I'm gonna complete the space part of this to see if I can get some in there, and let me. I'm going to do my same trick I just did again. I'm going to grab a little bit of my oil and some liquid, and I just want to get something thin. I want to get a thin wet layer over here. Although this is probably going to still be affected by all of this stuff. When I do space coming up from this side over here, what I know I'm filling it in right now with what looks like it's kind of muddy brown stuff. Mainly, I just want to get the media on. So a little bit of the oil, a little bit of liquid on here, get it kind of like to a point where it was wet, like this was. And I don't mind that this is a little warmer toned. You know, it's still kind of neutral. It's a little warmer. I guess it's coming up as brown on there, but it'll counteract nicely. I'll go a little cooler tone with my space colors. You know, maybe I think I'm gonna come in for space with a combination of phthalo blue, quinacridone magenta, and my burnt umber, which is kind of my go-to one. Yeah, it's a very straightforward one. You can adjust it pretty well to make it cooler or warmer, and I will make it heavier magenta. I think is what I'll do. In fact, maybe I won't use phthalo. I think I'm going to end up using ultramarine on it. Yeah, that's the ticket. I will do that. There we are. Hey, hey! First hot day of the year in the UK. Congratulations! Welcome out of the throes of winter. Yeah. Hey, I've been to the UK in like January and February. I know what you're talking about. Hey, welcome and happy warmer weather to you. Exactly. Same here, by the way. Holy smokies! I was done. With it. All right. Coming back to the thing, I'm liking how the palette's working. I'll try to work on it so it's a little bit easier to see. Domenico, greetings from Palermo, Sicily. Welcome aboard. I am doing well, thank you. And how are you today? Thank you for joining. We're working on new space painting with some oil paints here. Welcome. Yeah. Painting at the end of the world. Ah, yes. Someone will ask, what were you doing in the final days of the apocalypse? Ah, I was painting and taking care of cats. Ha 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 ha. Kapla. As the Klingons would say. Yes. Yes, here we go. Yeah, we're having some fun. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, now I got a pretty hot magenta black over here is what I got. It might be a little too magenta, a little too hot. I think I'm gonna work it down a little bit more blue, get it more into the purple. There we go. That's what we needed. I'm gonna try this. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. All right. And I guess I'll just go with my big brush again. Okay, here we are. Coming back to our scene. Need a little bit more liquid. See if I can't pull this on out. All right. This, I'm very curious how this is going to work. I think it's going to do well. So this is technically going to be our space. I'll start up here on the top. That's not bad. Yeah, there we go. That's doing it. That's doing it. It has a purple to it, but yeah, we're gonna work it. Working it. This will do exactly what I need it to do, and if I need to change the color tone, I can, which is really nice. There we go. I'll work on the side down here. There we go. This is going to be one seriously wet canvas, but we'll have fun with it. That's funny. It's terrible for me to admit. I don't have a good maul stick anymore. I got rid of my last one before the move, and I haven't replaced it. The maul stick being kind of like your cheat, right? It's like a bridge in pool. You know, you lay it over your painting so you can actually do detail work in here without scrubbing around all the rest of the stuff, right? All right, here we go. All right, there we are. And now, I think what's going to counter this is going to be when we get some of the warmer colors in here, and I do want to get more oranges into the sun as we go. This might be a long painting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna. Typically, what I do is I go until I'm out of gas. Right? There's a lot that you process doing this, and I'm trying to build up my stamina, my space art stamina. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I picked a space painting today though because I haven't done stars in a while. I want to get to some damn stars. There we go. Now it's starting to. Okay, so now, now, as they would say, now we're getting into it. Now it's happening. I will do that again. Neat. Don't mind me just painting the edges because I can see them. Least I could do. At least we're neat. Ah, okay. I'm going to get the rest of this in. Hold on. Just because it'll make me feel like the painting is almost complete if I can do this. Man, really, I mixed almost the exact amount of this that I'm going to need. So there we go. Because this won't be the last layer. This is just the color boundary, right? That's all I'm worried about. Because I'll just come in with an even darker black like this, and fill that in later. There we go. Yeah, we're not done with this. We're not done with this yet. Oh man, that is nice. There we go. Very velvety is what I'm seeing up close and personal on this side. Let me tell you, head off. This little corner down here. Oh yeah. Because there's a little, it's hard to see probably, but maybe you can see a little bit. You get a little bit of that really deep purple. No, not that deep purple, sorry. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Now it is kind of bandy here, right? But we can work with this, right? We're gonna work with this just fine. There we go. What we're gonna do there. There we are. I'm feeling better about this. All right, let's just yeah, it's like kind of here, and then this isn't quite meeting up. I see that. I see what's happening, but I can't address it quite yet. We might have to address that when we get into our oranges. Not sure. Okay, there we go. Oops. Well, that was... Don't touch that, Chris. Don't touch those. All right? I touched them too late. There we go. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So then, let's see. I'm going to have... So this ship is probably going to have to be pretty gray color in terms of the appointments. And you're back with Chips and Salsa. Fantastic. Excellent. So I'll take a margarita. Thank you. One margarita to go. All right, folks. I am going to take a quick break while Wes and Krista have their chips. So stick around. When we come back, I'm going to start working on the details inside the ship here. I can't decide. I think I might continue filling this out. I think I might continue filling out the sun. I have an idea. All right, so stick around. I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. Don't go away. There we go. Oh, and the thing, I keep moving this one all over. Let's go with that. All right, cool. All right, hang tight, everyone. Alrighty, we are back. Greetings, everybody. Christopher Dahl here. Welcome to the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios. So named after Christopher Dahl. Hey, thanks for that. Just coming back here. Oh, Mediocre, how you doing today? Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Yeah, we have a. I'm doing it like this heavily armored spacecraft that is orbiting close to the star Betelgeuse, just to do some crazy. Betelgeuse is just a big fireball, basically. It's crazy. So yeah, we're gonna play with that one a little bit. I think it's gonna be a fun use of some colors. We'll have a good time. Hey. Let's see, Hoodie Bob. Back in the Air Force days, the go-to snack was Pace and Tostitos. Pace was yeah, no kidding. That was the premier salsa for a long time. It was yeah, it's really good. We loved that one. For store-bought, very cool. Need to have Beetlejuice doing a spacewalk. Yeah. If I could do like the miniature version of Michael Keaton in his crazy makeup. Margaritas, yum. Have I ever had a tamarind margarita? I have not had a tamarind margarita. No, I have not. And Rhonda says she's had a lavender one. That actually sounds really good, honestly. No, it sounds good. Just tasted a tamarind soda, and you like the flavor. Most of my experience with tamarind is more in the kind of savory side of things, which is pretty fun. Look at how violet this side is starting to get. It's funny. Yeah, the paint sets in a little bit. My space on this one is violet. Or maybe a spaceship bumper as a spaceship bumper sticker. Yeah. Beetlejuice. I get to a point where the scale of small details is entirely dependent on the quality of my tiniest brushes, and the brushes I'm using for oil painting right now aren't that great. They're little detail brushes that I kind of think someone was asking last week about the should you use your brushes between oils and acrylics? These were probably intended for acrylics more so than oils. I've made them work because make them bend to my whims, right? Oh, okay. Back when it was actually made in San Antonio. Pace made in New York City. No, just kidding. That's right, exactly. We just got to a point where we found a few salsa recipes of our own. This is years ago too. We love making our own, or making a good pico de gallo. That one's good too. Anyhow, cool. So let's see. I feel like I think I want to get some detail into the ship here. New York City. Oh yeah, pace on eggs. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to mix myself up a spaceship hull. So I feel like the backside of the ship would obviously not necessarily be... Yeah, it would be dark. We've been seeing photography of the Artemis spacecraft. It's very, very quickly, the shadow zone goes very, very dark. But I don't particularly feel like doing that, so I'm going to go with it's based a little bit on the same colors I did for the... for space, but lightened up with some white. So I'm gonna get myself a nice dirty grayed down violet of some kind, and I feel like I'm in the right category here. And I'm even gonna borrow some for the yellows to gray it down. I'm gonna borrow some of the yellows we already had in here. I should have probably chosen alizarin crimson because it's not as hot as quinacridone magenta. Quinacridone magenta, you've all seen me paint with it. I've painted with it a lot. It's hot. That's the best way to put it. It's a very hot paint, right? It is hot color. Hot. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. This I'm gonna go with this color just to fill this in a bit, and we'll just see. Let's see how it works. All right. Oh, I ended up with some. That's okay. I was going to darken some of this up anyway. I know I keep forgetting to come back here. I'm mixing a color. It's going to look very violet. It's going to look very violet. It's a little lighter. I don't want it to be darker. I think I'm going to go with. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to blue some of it down so I can get a nice shadow version of it. I don't know how much of this I'm going to really need, but I like having the separate color. A lot of times when I'm working on a very specific piece, and you know, like this, I'm going to be looking at the details, colors, and textures of this ship. I'll probably be bouncing between a couple of colors, but I like to establish a nice dark, lighter, and you know, kind of a nice three-tone. I like having the range options at least, and I'm getting that right now. So there we go. All right, it'll give me something to work from. All right. Boom, licorice. Oh wait, okay, a second. Get a rope, right? Licorice rope. Those commercials were funny. I have to admit, I love those. Mediocre says I found 2 Saturn V 50th anniversary model kits in 1/44th scale on clearance. Whoa! At Hobby Lobby for $6.99. And they both went home with you. One of them will be the second Space Academy. Oh, I love the Space Academy Seeker. I think that's one of the coolest ship designs. I love that thing. That is so cool. Second one, so you've already made one, huh? Oh, that's awesome. I don't know if you can see the rocket back behind me. That is a 1/44th scale Airfix kit that I built around 2005, 2006 with yeah, I've got the Rick Sternbach decal set on it. That's really cool. I'm very tempted. I don't have the money to buy a model right now, but I'm very tempted to do the Artemis model that's in the same scale as my Saturn V. The Artemis, you know, SLS Space Launch System, just to have it next to it. Wes says you've been trying your hand at your own fresh salsas. That to me is my favorite. I love. You know, we got a little we got a little spoiled working our farmers markets because some of our friends were a few vendors from over the mountains in Yakima, and they would bring like amazing chilies, amazing tomatoes. It was awesome. Tomatillos for some salsa verde. Oh my gosh, yes. Wes says, "Oh, you want that model?" Yeah, I'm digging it. The new Airfix SLS is looking really cool. Revell's got one that looks good too. The Revell one's got better decals, but I kind of want to keep it in the family, right? I got a Airfix Saturn V, so I think I need to get an Airfix SLS to go with it. All right, here we go. I found one of my old filberts. It's a wide one, and it still has a good shape. So this one I did use for oils. Actually, I think I did actually use these for. It was a Grumbacher. The golden edge, yes indeed. I am going to try this with my oils today. I'd be willing to sell one. One of the Saturn V's or one of your Seekers. Yeah. Unfortunately, mediocre. My budget for models is right now pretty much zero. I really like Space Academy. I like Space Academy too. I know it kind of trended, you know, kids show because it was a kids show, but you know, I like Space Academy. I liked what they were doing with it. All right, let's get in some color here. I like this tone. It's kind of a mauve, and what I want to do is we're gonna just do the same thing. I'm working on eliminating the white of the canvas, so we are gonna just do this. Now I'm going to work in this kind of mauve tone for right now, but I'm going to adjust it, I think, with some warmer, cooler colors as appropriate. So there we go. All right. But I wanted a nice slim profile brush so I can get in here and do some work these edges. Anyhow. New York City. Yeah, I remember that now. I'm remembering all things 80s. Right. Having become reacquainted with some of my coworkers from Musicland 812, and by the way, if any of you are watching, shout out to those of us that worked at the Musicland store, and to those of us that worked at any shopping mall store in the 80s. I'd like to call us the survivors, right? We had a really cool crew. And it was an experience You know, where you're like, wow, you just you think it's gonna go on forever, and then it just doesn't, right? You know, it's those little windows of time with really cool people, and there you go. Yeah. Oh, Saturn V. Yeah, the Seeker stays in the collection. Yeah, there you go. No, I'm good. I'm all set on Saturn Fives. I really am. I actually have I have a good real space model collection. I remain fascinated by the Apollo hardware, and including the Saturn V. But I also have a really nice. I have a couple of really nice lunar module kits. I think I have three different scales. I have a nice 30-second scale Apollo, you know, the Apollo one that I think was that Revell. Might have been Revell. I can't remember. The big one that was. It's been around forever. It's got the interior and the little cutaway. It builds into a nice kit, and I even have some real space models extra components that I got courtesy of the Cult TV Men shop years ago. Yeah. With the renewed interest in moon landings, I feel like there's an opportunity here to do some of these models. I'm very excited. So yeah. All right, let's just get this in here. There we go. Oh, I'm picking up some of my stuff from there. That's that. Okay, there we are. Do you have a video about building the Seeker? Oh, very cool. There were, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there were a couple of garage kits of the Seeker. Maybe it was Jim Small that did them. I can't remember. But anyway, if that was the case, that's too bad. I missed out. But there we go. I've seen a couple of garage kits with them. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll go a little darker here. I always thought it would be fun to call it the looker for the looker for the looker for Seeker looker for. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I do, which is why I want to rebuild it, because I'm the better model builder now. Yeah, I have Fusion 3D to make the parts that I scratch built before. Ah, it's so cool, right? Revisiting old ships, absolutely. Old subjects, certainly. Okay. I have a tendency to stick my arm in the paint that I'm using, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, nice. Okay, nice. Keep doing that, Chris. Yeah, just keep doing that, and you'll get paint all over you. There we go. I'm going to start whittling in some detail to fill these edges, is what I'm going to do, because I didn't intend for this to be the final shape. So there we go. Now, these are, I'm painting in the shadow side of this ship, right? So there will be some, there will be some work on that side. I haven't done those colors yet. We'll see. Bump, ba-dum, bump, bump. Yep, time for a new video. Yep, there we go. Time for the new videos. Exactly. I'm going to get a little bit, because we'll have some of this going on down here. Shadows and all of that. Yeah. And we'll get this along here. I'm trying to just fill in the spots in between where I painted the dark stuff. So all of these. Yeah, this is me trying to think of the greebly pattern that was going to be going on without it turning into a whole bunch of mud. I'm turning into a bunch of mud. Call it the looker. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the principle of that show was pretty fun. I still do to this day. I still think that was a pretty fun concept for the show. You know, Saturday morning cartoons and all of that. It was a good era for that sort of thing, right? Need this darker. Need that darker. And See, now if this was acrylic, all of this would have dried by now, and then I could have gone over it again. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah. There's a little spot in here. I want that to be space again, so I'm gonna do that. Let's just turn that into space. I want to bring this on down in here. There we go. And then same thing along this side. I think I want to clean up this edge just a bit. Clean up this edge down here. There we go. Clean up some of that. Clean up that. Clean that up. There we are there. And there we are. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Very fun. Mediocre says, I have 2 Jim Small nose cones. One is built. Cool. The other one is the one you're going to build. And you got the blueprints of the Seeker from Jim Small's printed as poster, and they're fantastic. Oh, was he doing... I didn't realize. Was he doing blueprints for a while? That's really cool. Yeah, he had a couple of models I was interested in. He did the Seeker, of course, and then he did the Atreides Ornithopter. I think that was the same. I think that was Jim Small. He did the Atreides Ornithopter from the David Lynch Dune. And I really, that's a ship that I want in the collection in some fashion, right? There we go. The Looker needs big googly eyes on the front. That's awesome. Ooh, Davis, thinking of trying model rocketry so I can launch stuff. You have a property with nothing to accidentally snag. Ooh. Now that is a tempting hobby, Dave. Let me tell you, I knew a guy when I was at Microsoft. Like the last time I was at Microsoft before I left, I knew a guy. He was one of the group managers there, and he got really into high powered rocketry, right? And boy, that guy had the salary to support that hobby, which was great. I tagged along with him on a bunch. It was fun. He got to build the really. And we're talking like the crazy big stuff that they would launch out of the Black Rock Desert. There's plenty. You don't need to go huge in that hobby. It's fun to see and everything, but honestly, it's really cool. I love model rocketry. I would love to launch a few of those again if you got the property. Ooh. It's fun. It's fun. I'm just a sucker for the hobbies, you know. That's just me. All right, I'm gonna get a little hint of the purple in here, out on that side, but mostly this is in the sun, so that side's gonna be like really hot. Right. Oh, I just touched it. Ah, no, I touched space. Haha, I'm doomed. I touched the space. All right, there we go. See if we can't move this along a little bit here. All right, I'll get that out there. What do I want to do? I want my smaller brush again. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to keep that one for space, and then this one, I'm pulling another brush. There we go. See if we can't. I'm getting the brighter color here for all of this. There we are. And then these guys right there. The color scheme, this kind of mauve that I'm going with, and I'm going to introduce other colors to it too. This color scheme though is sort of, oh shoot, who's the artist that did in the heavy metal magazine and movie? I think it's Angus McGee. He did some of the design work for like the ships that the big space station that the 2 crazy robots that snort all the cocaine go to. And the quickest way for me to describe it, it had some really cool colors to it, right? So that's kind of where this one's coming from. Hey, it's going well. Very cool. Awesome. I'll post the link to the build video in the Discord. Thank you, Mediocre. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to take a look at that again. That's really fun. Looks like I did it 7 years ago. It's called Seeking the Seeker. I probably watched that video because I love the Seeker, and when I love a ship, I usually seek out. See what I did there. I usually seek out the people that build the models for them. It's really fun. Okay, I have this really great color here, so I'm gonna kind of work the ship a little bit. This is a darker version of the color I just had there, so I'm gonna just kind of work this a little and see if we can't introduce some more stuff here. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely want to see it. Yeah, that's really cool. Bum 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 da, 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 da. Trying to work in some detail, some hints at detail in here is what I'm trying to do. There we go. Not a lot, but just enough to cause trouble, right? Just enough to really cause issues. I'm gonna leave that alone now. Eyes leaving it alone. Cool. Okay. Very nice. Very nice indeed. It's getting happier. Do not get tricked into getting the rocket model with the camera. It's supposed to take a picture of you on the ground. It never takes a picture of you on the ground. They never do. It's all lies, I swear. In my time with hanging out with the model rocketry folks, I have actually seen some pretty impressive cameras that go up and come back down. I just think it's exciting. I think watching them go, especially if it's one that you have built. There's a pride of engineering and ownership that I think is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. I actually have to move on to what's going on out here. So I think I'm going to do that. Let me think here. I'm going to need some darker colors is what I'm going to want. So let me... I think... What happens when this goes in? Oh yeah, there we go. That's going to be a good one. This is my raw sienna with a little bit of Indian yellow. A little bit of this. A little bit more Indian yellow. I'm doing a test with some colors here. I don't want to just grab a tube of orange, right? I actually want to try to see if I can introduce some of this out here and see how this is actually going to work. It's a little blood colored, isn't it? Okay, too blood colored. I'm going to be going for an effect here. Like, it's not going to... I'm not going to depict Betelgeuse the star as a round disc. I am depicting it as a cloud of active glowing gas. That's the goal. And I'm not sure if my approach here is going to work. I'm going with my gut. So the first thing I want to do is I want to break up this area so that it kind of is looking like I'm thinking this is going to be just a big ball. That's not what I'm going to do. I think the ball would be like very small, and what we're just kind of experiencing out here is an interface of hot gases. So I don't want it to be just a horizon line with a ball on it. That would be as if I was painting, as if this is being close to our star. I want something a little different, so I'm going to mess with this a bit. You mix your brushes all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sometimes I will do the like on this one I still had some I dragged some of that black in. I didn't mind so much that I had some of the dark because I want this to be a little muddy out here anyway. This was a little too red. In fact, I'm going to keep working this one down here just a bit more. There we go. I had a little touch of that, a little bit of my Indian yellow. This Indian yellow is great because it really comes in and just kind of takes over and pushes colors into the oranges, which is really fantastic. So yeah, okay. Chief Football Officer checking in. Greetings, Raul Duke, and how goes the how goes it on the? It's draft day, right? It's draft season. It's draft day, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's probably the case. So yeah, there we go. Awesome. Welcome aboard. You got here just in time. We are having ourselves a fun time. Fun times. Excellent. All right, where is my... I'm going to try to clean off a brush here a little bit. The nice thing is I actually can just grab another brush, so I think I'm just going to keep doing that. Let me find a... Oh, I don't even think I've used this brush. I've used this brush, but I don't, so I'm not going to use this one right now. Too new. Sounds like who knew? No, it's too new. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah, I got my nice wedge. That's the one I really wanted. The '80s was so much fun. Yeah, I got to tell you, Dave. There was some fun stuff about the '80s. You weren't kidding there. I was enjoying reminiscing about the time when people used to actually go to music stores to buy their damn music, and pester people like me for cassette tapes. You had no phone. You could smoke in the shopping mall. I was right at the end of, hey, there were ashtrays in the shopping mall, and there were enough people that didn't really appreciate that. So yeah, there we go. I'll leave it at that. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to work up an orange. All right, I might have to just go for an orange is what I might have to do. There we go. Yeah, we had fun. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. There we go. Yeah. I'm almost entirely going with Indian yellow here and my pale. That's pretty cool. Okay. Oh no! How did that happen? I was mixing up yellow and somehow I got black in it, and I hate that. I really hate that. What the heck? Anyway, I must have picked it up. I must have picked it up on the canvas. I think I did. That's unfortunate. Ah! I wanted this. Here we go. Smoking in the boys' room. I think the fun part for me working at a Musicland store, that's where I worked at. I used Musicland 812 in the Lansing Mall. The fun thing for me is 1987, 88, you know, there were some crazy bands that absolutely that landed those years, and I just remember thinking, well, who the heck are these guys, right? Wait, I think Guns N' Roses landed. Yeah, Guns N' Roses landed, and you know, it's funny when when new music hits and you could just tell that you're going to be hearing it for the rest of your life. I swear, like every month there was some band, some song, some big hit that was like, okay, I'll be hearing this in grocery stores and shopping experiences and Dollar General in another, you know, so many years. So yeah. Oh, that is very, very yellow. That is very, very yellow. I was still getting warmed up in the 80s. I was too young to enjoy it, but still remember a lot. I forget I shocked somebody last week when I was recounting the tales. Musicland 812. And a friend of mine's like, wow, that was like the year I was born. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, really, I'm so sorry. I get it. It's it's tricky. It really is. I know. I had the same experience. You would run into people. I would run into people in the 80s like, wow, you should have been around in the 60s. Oh my God, it was so cool. And I'm like, I was just born then. So, you know, I don't know about that. Anyhow, I'm mainly fascinated by the things that were considered normal that kind of really weren't. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around what has really happened that created shopping malls and what has really happened that destroyed them. And the easy answer is always, oh, well, the internet destroyed it. I'm like, nah, that was a factor, but that isn't the main thing. I think the seeds of shopping mall destruction in general as a concept were already in place when I was working at them, and it took decades for it to really kick in and become, you know, really cause an issue. But that's just my running theory. The unfortunate part to me is you lost as a community. You kind of lost a place that was what they would refer to as a third place, right? And I don't think anyone has really struck the proper. We don't really know where we're going to create a new one. It was 15 in 1981. Good times. I think you just got a year or two on me. Yeah, you got a couple of years on me. I was, let's see, 1981. Oh, yeah, just 1 year. I was 14. There you go. It was good times. I refuse to be the old person that is like, oh, it was so much better because there were no cell phones. Baloney. There is nothing about the 80s that having an iPhone or an Android and the internet would not have made better. I am an outlier in that regard. You know how much fun the 80s would have been if we had phones? Oh, it would have been hilarious. But by virtue of that would have meant that we had the internet, and that would have meant that you would have no need to buy music in stores. So I wouldn't have been at Musicland. There we go. You were 24. Oh, good times. That is so cool. As I understand, shopping malls were never meant to be sustainable, but more of a government subsidized endeavor to stimulate the economy and developmental markets. There's a lot of truth to that. There was a lot of government subsidy money involved in developing malls. There was lobby money involved because car culture, we needed, accessible places, right? And that became very convenient. Yeah, oh gosh, that one shows it so much brighter. I don't know why this is showing so. Oh, I think I've got my camera on. Yeah, I don't have my. I didn't. Yeah, the exposure on this camera is wild today. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange to me. Whether or not they were intended to be sustainable, I'm not certain. I'd be willing to bet that in some conditions they were intended to be sustainable, and they certainly were sustainable for decades. So that the idea, I don't accept the notion that level of retail is impossible to carry out right now. I don't think it's inherently a broken model, even in the days of the internet. I just don't think it could have been existed in the exact same way. Greetings, David. How you doing today? Hey, welcome aboard. Hoping I'm well. Thank you so much. We are doing well this week. We are pushing through and having a good time. Yeah. Painting at the end of the world. Video killed the radio star. Yes, exactly. Rhonda says your oldest child was born in 1984. If I had a child born in 1984, it was a boy, it'd be Winston Smith. There we go. But your name isn't Smith. I don't care. It's Winston Smith. Mediocre asks, did I have a Camelot music? We did not, but Camelot, you said you spent more time and money in Camelot than Musicland. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what their exposure was in the Michigan. I was in Michigan primarily, and that was so we had Record Town, we had Musicland. Yeah, I think they were Camelot musics. They were Camelot music. We didn't have a lot of Sam Goodies, even though it was part of the Sam Goody company. Malls wanted way too much rent to make stores in general sustainable. They certainly did, right? Here's the question I have about that, though. how much of the high rent was being charged to cover like incredibly leveraged properties, right? Highly like none of these were being operated as I'm going to build the structure and make it sustainable, right? I'm sure everybody was buying and selling debt, rolling debt into other. That's not new, and that's not that whole idea isn't new to now. Tower Records, we had, gosh, I think there was a tower in Detroit. I don't remember a Tower Records anywhere in Flint, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, or Ann Arbor. Need to make it a painting of aliens faking an Earth landing. I know, right? Ron has been asking for more alien paintings. I want to do, yeah, I do want to do more alien paintings. That is absolutely the case. Yes. So now it's just kind of like vaguely looks like fire going on out here, and I kind of like it. So I'm gonna just kind of run with this for right now, and I'll detail it up more if I feel the need. We'll see what happens. Okay, the next thing I need to do with it though, and I'm gonna need a smaller brush. I'm going through brushes like crazy, but this is what happens when you're going from blues to oranges. You're gonna want another brush. Yeah. So, but yeah, in fact, there's my store right there. There's my old Musicland store. That's too funny. Can I pop the image up? Let's see. Da 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 da. There we go. Yeah. No, I can't. Yeah, there we go. So it's a crack up, right? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Spending that much time in a shopping mall is kind of miserable and not good for your health. It's not good for your mental health anyway. I'm simultaneously not sad that malls are gone and sad that they are. Like I'm in the Schrodinger's regret space over shopping malls, and there's nobody I know that was like, oh yeah, I'd love to go back and spend 60-hour weeks at a shopping mall in the middle of their Christmas season. Show of hands, how many people that worked retail? How many years did it take you to appreciate Christmas music at some point? Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. This, I may regret doing this, but the white parts are killing me. So I'm gonna come in here and see if I can. Obviously, the highlights of the metal parts, or whatever the hardware parts of the ship are going to be pretty much heated by this. So it's going to be a lot of oranges here. Anyway, but the engine thing I'm going to treat separately. Let me come in with some yellow and see if I can get this together. There we go. When I work on paintings that are kind of funny like that, I actually kind of like using casein and acrylic because they feel a little bit more illustrations. And that might be a mistake. I don't know. That might be a mistake. Maybe that's just in my brain, right? Maybe I should be more open to the notion. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling in this Indian yellow, which is a very, very transparent, actually. There we go. That may be too bright, but I'm going to work with it anyway. I never worked at a mall. I still hate Christmas music. Yeah. Raul says, retail or some kind of frontline customer service should be mandatory as a first job. Oh, you aren't kidding. If you're not going into the military, damn it, you should work retail, for crying out loud. Absolutely. Yeah, for so many reasons. You aren't kidding. Oh my gosh. This is too hot. So I'm going to come in and lighten it up a little bit. There we go. Totally. I grew my appreciation for the service industry. It grows tremendously. You can always tell when somebody has never worked in a service industry. It never fails. You don't even have to be an employee in a service industry to really see it. You can always tell when someone's being a miserable sot. Local mall doesn't even open its doors until 11 a.m. and closes at 10 p.m. Well, at least you still have a mall. We actually have, there's the remnants of a mall here, the Cranberry Mall. And for those of you that know Lou Del Maso in the model making community, he used to. I live in his old hometown, which is really hilarious. He was like, "Great, I moved away, and then finally somebody moves in that builds models. Great." Oh, Dave said you worked at Tower Records. Oh yeah. We had a Tower. Oh, you had Tower Records. I'm sorry, I was thinking Record Town. Never. You worked at Tower Records. Tower Records was cool, man. I liked them. Yeah. At the end, it was kind of they were having a tough time, but everybody was. Malls nowadays are just for brawls. Malls are for brawls. We might add a few of those. Honestly, not a ton of terrible stories in that regard from the mall that I worked at. Not a lot. I mean, you heard stuff, right? I'm gonna write about it. I caught a guy stealing CDs in our store once. That was pretty exciting. He thought he was being clever. He totally was scoping out where the employee was in the store at the time. We had, the store is long. It's like 6,000 square feet rectangle, right? I was at the front of the store. I think I was finishing a smoke or something. And so I was behind, if I were to look right at this person, there were point of sale things in between. And if they were glancing in my direction, they might not have, they didn't see me. Looked left, looked right, put a bunch of CDs under their coat, went to walk out. And I just went, "Hey, can I take those to the counter for you here? I think you got your selection, don't you?" It was hilarious. Indian yellow is a wonderful color. I love it. I have grown to love Indian yellow. I use it for so much. In fact, it's one of the paint tubes I'm going to have to replace. I use it that much. Rhonda says, "I made all my kids work retail jobs so they'd appreciate what a really crappy job was." Yeah, good move. It's a good thing. The girls worked with us at our shop, and I will tell you this: it paid off for them, whether they agree or not. It definitely paid off for them. They both have been able to work in some similar jobs. It gave them a great experience. They've reported that, I guess, now that I think about it. My kids can't get anything but crappy jobs these days. Corporatism. Yeah. It's oh man. It's especially tricky if you're trying to pull that together in a small town. I gotta tell you. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Well, times are like weird right now. Times are incredibly weird. Yeah. I tend to think things are getting better. That's my that's my go-to, and even if they aren't today, they're getting there. They're getting there. We got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work, people. Anyhow, I am liking where this is going. Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, oh yeah, so you got this. At this side's gonna have a little hint of what's going on. This side is kind of cast in these purplish glows, which is kind of like reflected off here. We'll get a little bit of light here in the satellite dishes. Satellite dishes, yeah. So it's got a satellite. This is so they can get their direct TV at Beetlejuice. Jeez. All right, folks. I've changed the mission. Well, we're bringing direct TV to the fine folks in Beetlejuice. Yes, I know it took us 300 years to develop the drive system to get the ship here, and in that time we thought we would. Oh gosh, so weird, so weird. Rhonda says 2 of them now have master's degrees, so I think that worked. Oh, that's awesome. That's very, very cool. That's really cool. I wish I'd gotten my master's degree. I really do. But I feel like, well, it was not possible for me to pull it off at the time. I got right into work and then, just didn't come back to it. They knew what they don't want to do, right? Yeah. Crappy corporate jobs. I know, right? Okay. I'm going to try to get in on this edge here. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to try to get some highlights down here. I'm going to take a second. Let me adjust the camera. Adjusting the camera. Let's see if we can't get in here. I know I'm going to need to do a little. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe like that. There. Let me do a proper focus on this. It's a very manual show, everybody. I don't know if you noticed this. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, there we go. I loathe using autofocus on paintings like this because it'll always throw it off, right? It never fails. Oh, by the way, sorry, Beetlejuice, for all the reruns. Funny thing is, even the music I didn't like from the 80s sounds great to me now. Oh, Dave, honestly, I could not stand Def Leppard. But I find myself just like, okay, occasionally there's a song that comes on, or I might hear it, and I'm like, oh, I'll listen through it. It was fun. Well, the only reason I couldn't stand Def Leppard is because the damn stuff was on everything. There's some music that was just everywhere. Oh my gosh, it was constant, right? I mean, that was the only real downfall. I mean, it would be played in stores. It would be played in, it was on TV constantly. So, some bands, I'm just like, couldn't stand it. But you give it a little distance, right? And then you kind of hear where the good music was, Currently watching from a crappy corporate job. It pays the bills. I know, pal. I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie. There's days I miss having a crappy corporate job, and those days usually are when I try to pay a bill I can't pay, or I'm running out of paint or something. And yeah, I hear you. There's no easy way out of any of this. We are doomed one way or the other. Yeah. Okay, let me. I have been playing with this, so maybe I can almost get my camera to point to where I want it to. Yeah. We'll do a little bit of that. A little bit of this. A little separation there from the back of the ship. Back then, you were encouraged to leer at girls and vice versa. You get labeled a stalker creep. Oh, it was absolutely encouraged. I'm almost afraid to bring that up, but men were encouraged to be pigs by that entire culture. I'm sorry, it's very true. It was rewarded. It was constant. You don't have to take my word for it. Just ask any woman that lived through the damn 80s. I mean, watch the TV shows, right? Oh my gosh, it's very telling, and it's not because we're like overly sensitive right now or anything. It's not the case at all. People were kind of shitty, and there was a lot of behavior that was considered perfectly acceptable, and now we're kind of seeing maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe we're better now about some things that we weren't so much then. Likely. Leering at women's never been cool, right? Well, depends on the woman. No, that's terrible. I'm sorry. That's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke. No. Yeah. The malls were gathering places for teens. They were gathering. Yeah. Teens were big, right? So you'd get a lot of teens, which honestly, it's really weird. It depends on what the day is. You get a group of teens on the day school is out. Not good, right? That's not so fun. You get the teens that are in there. They're getting ready to go to prom, or they're getting ready to do. They're getting shopping stuff for graduations. That's pretty cool. I like developing swirls in the yellow. Me too. When you get a color like this mauve that doesn't just go straight to garbage when it gets hit with yellow. You get these lovely little interfaces, right? And I can kind of hint right now with I'm resisting the urge to do this because I will absolutely go nuts. So yeah. It's sort of gas gianty. It is sort of gas gianty. I'm almost tempted to go there too, but what I would like to do is bring up some I just put that. I'm going to bring this back out a little bit. Maybe that's just a little too close. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to bring out some more like the cadmium oranges. I would like to bring those out. Thank you very much. And maybe develop more of a landscape in there. Malls and the video games. Oh, we had a great video. We had a couple of great video parlors. That was pretty cool. Pinball Pete's. That was the Lansing one. I did appreciate that because you weren't tethered to a device that gave all the stored knowledge of the universe right at your fingertips. You had to operate in your brain a little differently than you do today. If you could not just look something up. Politics weren't weaponized yet as much, so you could actually like talk to people, and it wasn't just like, oh, you're just a liberal scum, or you're just a fucking Nazi. Oh, sorry, F-bomb. I'm allowing myself one F-bomb a show, so there it is. I'll try to not do any more. Oh yeah, look at that day. Look at it. Just you start working this in, you start getting your colors in. It's really fun. I'm enjoying this part of it. Yeah. Leering was a two-way street. That's where people went to meet outside of school. Yeah, there was meet up. 100%. Yes. Witnessed a lot of that. Witnessed a lot of meetup action at the mall. That was a definite thing. Yeah. But it's the place you would go in between, like. So all of the time that we spend shopping online now on our phones, sitting in our home, you'd make a stop during the week, and that's where all the new stuff was. And we absolutely had mall regulars, 100%. We had our store regulars. Every store gets them in some fashion, right? And yeah, it became the place to go. Not everyone. I know plenty of people that never bothered with the mall, even in the 80s. Eventually, you'd find your way there because you needed jeans or something, or work pants or whatever, and that would happen. So is the ship coming or going? It is going. It's like flying. Yeah, it's fun. This is the end. This is the engine end, and I was actually just thinking I'd like to get in here and start working this up a little bit. So I think I'm going to do that. That's what I'm thinking. It is the engine part. I've been saving that one for last. Oh, this is too cool. You could greebly this stuff out for days. I can and I will. But for now, I want this to be kind of, there we go. Yeah, little bits like that. I would like to go up here. And I think there's a, yeah, that's what I'd like there. There we go. Oh, good. You got it right. You got it right. You totally got it right, mister. You got it right, sir. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, that was too far. What? That was a 1 point too far. Boop. Boop. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to need myself a nice, bright... Get some room on my old palette here. Again, I keep saying that, but that's because that's what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Now, let's see if I can't get myself a crazy color for them engines, right? Crazy color for them engines. And we don't want any... There we are. I've got just the color, everybody. Rhonda, I do try to every once make sure that one of my paintings is going to be primarily in the warm colors instead of starting with blue all the time. So this is one of them. There we go. Okay, I need a little touch of this. I really wish I had a dedicated palette cam. I really wish I had that, but I don't. So there we go. All right. I'm going for kind of a mid-tone. So imagine, if you will. So here's what I'm thinking here. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I think I mentioned earlier in the stream. I've been kind of thinking old Battlestar Galactica by way of new Battlestar Galactica, and those were kind of the basic ships that I'm thinking of that are inspiring this design. So yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do another Filbert. There we go. It's much appreciated. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's also a I know what my tendencies are as an artist, right? Like I have, like any artist, I have favorite color schemes, and I try to break out of those. This one in particular is another one where I'm trying to break out of a lot of my standards, if you will. Otherwise, you don't learn. And by messing around with a few other color schemes, you get to practice things like your color relationships and tertiaries versus complements and blah, 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 blah. Here I'm just rambling off about this stuff. All right. Let's get some business going in here. All right, engines. So I'm going to define, like, all of this is like glowing. I think there's two core. There's going to be a core here and a core here. Although this is a cowl, so it comes back in. Yeah, right. Remember, Wes? It's the Excelsior, right? It's the Excelsior back end. Oh, you know what I want? I know what I want to do. Now we're just going to do it this way. Okay, cool. We're going to just do it this way. So, yeah, let me come back in. Yeah, we're in that. Okay, cool. This is going to be a good, this is a good color right here. So I'm just going to kind of work this in. This is going to get dirty because I'm going to be picking up some of the black colors, but I'm going to just anticipate that, and we'll work it from there. And that means that because there's all of this orange and yellow over here, this is going to be like screaming at our faces. Oh, it was so rude. Space Pig appreciation as well. Oh, I love the Space Pig. We love the Space Pig. I'm my efforts on Space Frog the cartoon are a little stalled. Forgive me, but yeah. Stalled but not forgotten. I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept this side open. Okay, cool. Well, anyway. So now I want to sort of architect the greeblies inside of here a little bit by, so there's going to be kind of a thing there. And, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. And do not get it on that. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, do not get it that close to that, by all means. That will be enough of that. Okay, let me get my face out of here. So, yeah, that's actually kind of, let's see. Are we, so we're kind of, whoa, all my light keeps hitting it. Yeah. Oh, that's bright. That's bright AF is what that is, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so far all of the unfair things I was trying to do with my colors is working out exactly as planned. Evil plans, right? Okay, there we go. Such as it is. All right. I'm working up my lighter color for the inside tones. There we go. There we are. Robot repair. Robot repair it. What people should go for. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. Like, I love it when people get on my case about not using AI, and I'm not calling anyone out in particular. It's like, well, but I want it to do. I want AI to do things, but it's not the same thing that it's being offered for. Like, I want AI to like make me drinks. I'd like AI to handle my finances. There we go. Maybe that's a mistake. No, I'm kidding. For those of us that could use help in the finance department, that would be a good thing. All that stuff, right? Dear AI, do something with $300 that makes me a millionaire. Go. There we are. No, you can't just do that because that's not fair. It's like, yeah, I can. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay. Right now, before I get too much into the details in here, I think I want to push the contrast a bit. I, yeah, I think I need some darker blue stuff at the edges. So I am going to get some darker blue stuff at the edges. There we go. Yeah, I'd like that. That's what I needed to do. Yeah, but I need to be much darker than that. So I'm going to do that. I definitely need a better palette cam. I absolutely need a better palette cam than this. There we go. Yeah, that's what we needed. Bum ba dum bum bum. Bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum. That's darker. There we go. Catbox Scooper 3000. You aren't kidding. If hey Musk, build me a freaking robot that deals with the cat boxes faster than what you're doing it now. Worrying about the damn driving cars. We need robot cat litter dealers. Yeah, that's what we need. This is what the people are asking for, right? This is what we want. I shouldn't go any close. This bright edge should be over there. So I think I will keep working this. Yeah, that's what we need right there. Build me a drink at the end of my day, AI bot. Fold my laundry, do my cat boxes, and when you're done with the lawn, let the kid know, right? Check out Litter Robot if you're unaware. Yo, cool. Okay, I'll check out Litter Robot. So I have seen automated. I'll tell you right now. I've seen automated, cat boxes. I've seen these. I get that, but they ain't that smart. There's a failure rate on those that is tied pretty much to how many cats you have. I will tell you that right now. They break down pretty quickly under multiple cat under multiple cats. Okay, now I'm gonna go with the Inden 3. Now I'm just gonna that's why I need to get rid of this. When your brush has way too much paint in it and you're trying to get a different color. Those have crushed cats. Some of them have. Yeah, I don't like to think about that. That's revolting and terrible. But yeah, okay. Happy thoughts. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty heinous. No, that's no good. We're pretty careful about that sort of thing, but yeah. So we've got to have some hardware in there. So we're gonna keep doing greeblies. I need a smaller brush to do this properly, but I'm gonna keep working this because that's just the way I am. And yeah. I'm trying to do is bridge the bridge the components there a little bit so I can bring that on down. Raul Duke says, had one for years with 2 cats and it was great. Things happen though, I'm sure. Oh yeah. I very few of them. I don't know. It's probably dependent on the model. I've seen so many different variations of it, right? Yeah. Boom. I mean, as long as you're not getting the ones from Temu, right? You're probably okay. You'd hope. You hope. Don't get the Temu ones. They're not great. Okay. I am running into the very issue of it's just yeah, that's what we needed. There we go. Trying to brighten this up, and I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm just not. Yeah. What am I going to do? Oh, I think I know what I might do. I think I need to kind of push the color. Let's try it with, let's try pushing the color a bit. I'm pushing a little bit of, I'm adding a little magenta to this one, just to get that in place. There we go. Yeah. I still think it's working. I still think this is working, but maybe not to the extent that I'd hoped. I really wanted this to be like really effing bright. But I do think that I'm gonna have to come in with a smaller brush to do what I'm planning. There we are. Just tighten up the edges a little bit and see if I can't contain some of this. There we go. It's getting there. I'm just gonna let it go. You just need fast cats, right? Well, you know, if you stop feeding them, they'll stop pooping as much. That's what I'm told. I'm going totally off of the maybe I should just stop feeding them. No, we wouldn't want to do that. Honestly, no complaints. Our cats are pretty cool, and I dig them, and I don't want to be mean to them at all, because that would be rude. Alrighty. So, this is actually turning out kind of fun. I'm going to see if I can bring it back out here, and let me try again to make sure that I'm going to do a quick focus check, folks. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we are still in good shape here. Oh, look at that. Awesome. I know. If you used autofocus, you'd be fine. Yeah, I'd be jumping all over the place. I've been down that road. We've been down that one. My cat is not too fast. More log truck going up a 50% grade. I know, right? We have a couple that are in that category, right? So oh gosh, I'm trying to make this. There we go. Okay. My auto exposure. I'm not trying to show you my hand. I'm trying to dim this down just a little bit because it's blowing out the color. Maybe I'll just call it. And that's too dark. There we go. All right. Well, there we go. Let's go to this and brightness. There we go. Okay. Cool. I made a couple adjustments, and there we are. That's a little bit better. There we go. Mediocre says, I was checking the mall the other day, and one of the neighbors have one of those little lawnmower robots. Oh, checking the mail. Sorry, checking the mail. They have one of those little lawnmower robots. It's like a Roomba for your lawn. I think it looks cool. It just feels bougie to me. You know, if I could get a robot to mow my lawn and it would do it well, yeah, I would be all over that. It's looking good. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm very happy with how this one's going. Unfortunately, getting into the detail here is gonna be tricky. This is all so wet. This is so wet. I feel like I might have to break and call it before I go into any further detail. I have reached, however. Oh, you know what we need to do? I think I'm going to throw stars on it. I'm going to do stars on this before I go too far. Anybody else want to see stars on this one? Anybody? I think I'm going to put the stars. What I'll do is I'll put the stars on it, and I want to let this set up so I can actually do a proper job on it. Yeah. I've got about 2 hours in on it. Let's get some stars. All right. Since I'm dealing with oil paint, I'm gonna get my gloves on because I do not wish to sounds like it would save your back. Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, I keep forgetting. I've got to check. Somebody remind me in Discord, I think. So I've got to check on the animated emojis in YouTube because that's not working. And I really want to see them animated. I really want to see them animated. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try to remember that. Okay, stars. This time, we are going to... What am I going to do here? Yeah, let's put it in this. I'm getting a little container here. I have another... So, fine detail liquid. This stuff's thinner, right? Hopefully I can open it. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using this with my paint to see if I can get a better flinging star pattern here. I've struggled with thinning my paint to flick stars with oil paint. That's fair, totally fair. I had to rebuild my dad's 77 riding lawnmower. Yeah. Oh, David, you're saying I was working at an engineering company around the time the Roombas came out. Cool. I said we should build a Akdoomba, a robot snow clearer. Oh dear God, I wouldn't have laughed. I would not have laughed. No, I agree. That would be the way to go. Seriously. Like seriously, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to thin this down with this, I'm getting some of my white paint, and I'm going to try to thin it down with this liquid detail. I need a little bit more. Bummer. Okay. The problem is I find that when I thin these paints down with like a medium like this, they just kind of, if you use too much medium, it just kind of, it runs is what it does. It doesn't stay sticky. So let me find my other stuff here. Get a little touch of my oil. So this is me kind of trying to work the consistency of the paint to the point where it can actually be flung. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. We'll see. Anyhow, the Schnoomba. I was laughing about buying an old, like when I have to get another car, and I will have to at some point here. I was kind of thinking how fun it would be to get like a white 1980s era Trans Am or Firebird, because I love those cars. And then put a snowplow on that and call it the Snowbird. Yes, instead of the Firebird, the Snowbird. Paint mixing AMSR, I know, right? It's a little thick. I don't think I've got it to a point where I can fling it. There's only one way to find out. All right, let's. Wrong one. Not Music Land. All right, here's my test. Here's my board. Oh, look at that. I could do that. I could do flings of strings. Let's do that. That's not the effect we want to go for now, is it, everybody? Right. All right, one more time. Yeah, and the less I say about that, the better. Okay. We all saw it. It's on the video. I know you saw it. I know it's on the video. Okay. I'm going to do one more adjustment, and then I'm going to go for a brush and see if I can do the same thing, but better. The same thing, but better. More AMSR mixing. What I'm trying to do, though, like I said, when I've tried this with oil paints in the past, the tendency is to, I don't want that one either. A tendency is to make it too thin. And it's not a good tendency, I tell ya. Not the tendency I want to work with. All right, well, let me try a brush here. Greetings. Patra Pringle, how you doing? Flings and arrows. Excuse me. All right. I'm going to try this again. Let me see if I can't do a fling this way. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. I just have to be careful. All right, here we go. Face off. Facing off. Let me see if I can't do it some justice. I'm gonna get luckily this brush that I'm using to do it had a little bit of color in it, so it won't be just like shocking white. Okay, everybody. A snow removal robot would be awesome. Absolutely. I've got a bunch of paint on my brush here, and apparently I've got it on my hands, which is not what I wanted to do. Sorry, everybody. Okay, there we go. That's why we wear the gloves. Why I wear the gloves. Okay, everyone. Let's get some stars. Ooh, nice. That one's too much. There's a good one there. A little bit more paint on it. Yay! Yeah, exactly. Too much there. There we go. It's gonna be, maybe it won't be hard to see. I don't know. Boom, boom. Okay, almost too many. No such thing, right? All right. Can you see them? Is it visible at all? Can I? Here we go, everybody. Let me just I'm gonna just turn it right there. They turned out pretty good. There we go. AI message. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, hang tight. Hey, Wes. Attention, Wes. Oh, you're at dinner. You can't do that kind of stuff. All right, there we go. Okay. What's Pure Vita? Wait, Pure Vita's live. Are we sure that Patra Pringle here is AI? I can't tell. I will take care of this if that's the case. Okay, there we go. So I'm not gonna sign this painting today because I want to finish this with details and stuff, and I want to define Beetlejuice here. Oh, it'll be a thing very quickly. YouTube has a lot of videos showing how advanced it's getting. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Okay, well, yeah, I see that. All right. Well, sent them walking. There we go. I've actually been pretty fortunate. I have not gotten a lot of hassly behavior on YouTube, and for that I'm pretty happy. I know of a couple of our former followers here that, for their own reasons, have elected not to watch me anymore, and that's fine. But only one of them has been a jerk about it. Yeah, I was working on a painting last year about I had picked up a painting that I hadn't worked on in a while, and they're like, "Oh, so you're still working on this?" Yeah, fuck off, whatever. It's just annoying more than anything else, but yeah. Oh! I know what I need to do in this little area right in here. Here, hang tight. That's what we're gonna do. I have it. I do. What did I do? That's what I needed. So instead of the core just being white, I'm doing the core as kind of a yellow. That's happy. That's some happiness right there. Okay, yeah. If it holds tight, sends you demands. We know what we can do with robots in this place. We don't serve their kind here. Exactly. Oh man, brush cleanup. So let me know what you think, folks. I've been doing a lot of oils, right? I've been doing a lot of oil paintings lately, and that's just kind of the phase that I'm in. I'd like to go back and do some more casein ones and such, but for right now, I'm kind of in a mode. I'm doing a lot of work with this, and the reason is that I'm having fun with oils. I am having a lot of fun with oils. And here's the weird thing. I wasn't comfortable tackling a 16 by 20 painting in oils in front of all of you on a Friday afternoon like this because I just didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the confidence in it because I hadn't practiced and I was a little out of touch. There's an entirely different mindset around approaching it. You like the planet? Thanks, Nanu. It's not a planet. It's not a planet, damn it. Their stated goal is a robot for every person, like a phone. Oh, geez, right? Exactly. Tell me you're not an artist without telling me. Yeah. or star, whatever. Well, I was gonna make a red dwarf, but I was gonna put it like a little tiny in there, just for you. Thank you. I'm enjoying where this is going, and I am not kidding you when I say that I do not have an idea in mind sometimes when I do this. Originally, my idea was to do a nebula with a planet and a ship, such and such. But yeah, sick shirt, love that movie. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, me too. This is a woohoo. I've had requests to do a Gunstar from the drawing for this. The T-shirt design. I think the drawing of this was by John Eves, the Star Trek designer. He contributed the line work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he did that. I'm pretty sure. It's a dim-ass star, yo. Exactly. Oh, but the message? Creepy. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, as a disabled person, you look forward to having your own Baymax. Yeah, I'm not opposed to home automation, especially for those of us that are getting up in age. Robots will be a huge help for disabled and elderly. Yeah, look at that. I was just thinking that. But I want them to look like the Lost in Space robot or something equally as goofy, because that's just more fun. I don't want something that looks like a spandex wrapped hunk of something. It's just silly. We need a proper robot. If you could do bipeds, that's great. How about Ed 209? Who wouldn't want Ed 209 on their front lawn? That would be great. And yeah, I agree. I think robots are going to be huge for the disabled. In general, okay, so this is where, having read too much science fiction, forgive me, humans have always wanted to cultivate a servant class at every level, right? It's shitty. It's part of our nature. It's certainly part of our setup. And I'm not surprised that billionaires are rushing to freaking build their servant class. It's not just them, it's all of us. But yeah. Massage is good for your health and not necessarily sexual in nature. Yeah. Oh, massage. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. Rosie from the Jetsons, right? Exactly. Remember, Death Blossom only works at close range. I would have so much fun with an Ed 209. Stop what you're doing. Drop your weapon. Yes. You have 20 seconds to comply. I love that movie when it came out. Oh, RoboCop? Yeah, I love that. I also loved Last Starfighter. Yeah, that's a cool time. Oh, this is... I'm digging this one. I'm digging this one a lot, and I'm very, very happy to have tackled this with all of you today. That's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this a breakpoint on it. I am finishing a lot of the smaller paintings that I've been working on, and some mid-size ones, and the Devil's Tower. I'm still going to press through with the not space ones, but this felt good coming back to space, honestly. Oh, now the military does use video games as training for drones and such, and battle tech. Yeah, I'd be happy with battle mech type stuff. In a sick way, I watch what's happening on the Ukraine-Russian war front, because a lot of what you're mentioning here, warfare with an Xbox controller or a game controller, is exactly what's going on, and Ukraine's figuring it out. There's some crazy stuff happening over there, the nature of warfare. Never said anything about sexual nature. I can't stand to be touched by anyone. Oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah. I remember you mentioning that before, Rhonda. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, some people are just not into it. Like, I totally get that. It is sometimes not cool. I would love a Star Wars and or B2. Yeah, the B2. Yeah, especially if you can get Alan Tudyk's voice for it. Yeah. What about touched by cats? Well, you don't have a choice being offended by being touched by cats, especially if you live in a house with the cats. It just happens. It's the nature of the beast, literally. Yeah. Oh my gosh, too funny. The sub which imploded used a game controller to navigate with. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, the sub which imploded. Right, right. The ocean, whatever that was. Yeah, Ocean Gate. What a bunch of idiots. It's weird to me to see where things are going. The drone warfare aspect on the front lines. There's so many things that remind me of how things shook out in World War One. It's the same effect, right? It's like all of a sudden you're rushing out in the battlefield with your weapons, but there's some technology out there that makes that damn near impossible, and then you're like, just the Kursk. Bum 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 bum. Oh, Wes, I think he's thinking of the billionaire with his riders. Yeah. Yeah, the cat's okay. She knows not to cause me pain. Right. What kind of magic cat do you have, Rhonda? Our little bastards are walking all over me with pointed paws, and I swear they're wearing stilettos all the time. Yeah. They learned their lesson on cutting corners the hard way. Yeah, seriously. I felt bad for the kid. He didn't want to go. I know. Oh, that whole thing is so shitty. Oh, my God. Oh, I hate that whole story. Everything about that story, I hate it. The billionaire schmo that put that together should have gone down on his own. Drone warfare is the future, not manned aircraft. Oh, it's gross, Bob. It's so much grosser than what we're seeing today. Once you combine it with automation, yeah, we're heading into hive drone warfare territory that is heinous, absolutely heinous. Anyway, but I'm not going to get too down on it. I'm just fascinated by watching the disruption of technology on a pretty major front. I look at something like this as like eventually people are going to realize maybe we should just like stop pouring all of our money into killing each other, because basically you could have the warfare occur in a game of Civilization and you'll end up with the same results, I swear. Cheaper to replace machines than trained people. My favorite implementation so far of drone robotic warfare on the battlefield, and I think this is very, very cool. And even if you didn't have drones that kill people, this is great. Ukraine's been using drones, meaning automated vehicles, to transport ammunition and supplies to and from their troops, which you could do in an armored little box. It's just driving along, right? And you have someone in the back that's driving along there. And cooler yet, they've been using these same devices to transport the wounded back out of the front lines. They become lesser interesting targets to shoot at because they're just basically a drone box, right? And you're not putting additional people in front of the way. They've saved a lot of people with those, apparently, by doing that, which is really cool. So I like how it's weird for me to say it's a war, I realize, but the way Ukraine is going about it is probably the best way you could be going about it right now. They're using it to make up for incredible disproportionate amounts of fighters and material on their side, and they're making good use of it. Yeah, I think they're going to have the upper hand. That's my proposal. Yeah, cheaper to replace machines. Yeah, I read that one. Worked on the X-47B thing. Is creepy how it flies. Wait a second. Okay, you worked on the X-47B? Wait a second. X-47B. Wait, was that the Valkyrie? That's the Valkyrie, right, Nanu? You worked on the Valkyrie? Wait, that is the one, right? No, I'm just going to have to look here now. Bum, ba, da, bum. Oh, I see. Okay, no, not the Valkyries. No, sorry. The unmanned, yeah, that was the demonstration unmanned aerial combat. Oh, yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's creepy how it flies, right? Well, I think any of those tailless wedges, right? It's just freaky to see how those things go. The military space shuttle. Oh yeah. X-38. Now, the X-47B is like a little flying wedge. I like the Marines outsmarting the AI and monitoring thing by hiding in the cardboard box. Yeah. Yeah, Ukraine has sorted that one out, by the way. Just letting you know, I've seen the videos. Yeah. Oh no. I believe what Nan is referring to. These are sort of unmanned drone aircraft. Oh, they came to your ship and did lots of testing for 6 months. So the principle behind these things is if you're one person in a fighter and you're flying about, right? Usually it was just you and maybe you're heading out and finding someone else, but you could have like 6 of these drones following you, kind of like mated to your setup. And they're basically your wingmen, right? They're unmanned drones. If you encounter a problem, you can send them off and do things. Or if you have to bomb 6 targets, you hit one, they hit the others. It's kind of nuts. You would think at a point you're going to get to a level of efficiency on this stuff that's going to be tricky to even conduct it. But I think that's the way it's been trending for years anyway. Anyhow, about wars. I'm gonna cash it out to you, folks. It moves with the ship perfectly. Yeah, they're nutty. Let me tell you. One little thing here. Yeah, there we go. All right. It was a little splotchy, folks. I needed some. Yeah, I needed a little love and care there. All righty. Cool. One last shot of it. There we are. I presented to you the stage 1 of a visit to Beetlejuice, right? Oh, absolutely, Danu. I would love to see those. I think that'd be really cool. Thank you. That's the thing with unmanned aircraft. No G limits, right? It's like do a right angle and get your butt over here and help me. Okay, folks, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for hanging out on a Friday afternoon. It's been fun. I will return to this painting, and we'll do some touch-ups on it and have some fun with it. I'm liking where this is going. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out. This has been a great Friday afternoon stream. For those of you on Patreon, I will be back on Sunday, and I'm thinking of trying out a Q&A session. We'll do some more painting on Sunday, but maybe I'll try out elements of it there. I'm going to continue working on. I've got the bigger brother version of this Devil's Tower scene. It's a wide version, so we're gonna be doing longer format painting there. And we'll do some Q&A. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it, David. Thank you. Definitely on Sunday. Oh, and I might I'll post it in the Discord and on Patreon. I might not use I might change up how it launches. It was weird how Patreon just shut down on me last week after 20 minutes. It was great. The painting is looking awesome. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about this. I love where this one is going. Awesome. Okay, so we will catch you all next week. Thank you all so much. If it was your first time checking us out, you can buy paintings at christopher-doll.com. There's a space art store. Thank you all so much. And also, if you want in on the Discord, let me go ahead and I'll pop in the link on the Discord again. Have a great weekend, losers. Awesome. Hey, how many margaritas was that? Wes always attends at the local cantina. I always call it a catina now. Thank you. If you want to support the stream, there's paintings available at the Space Art by Christopher Doll. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that as well. I know many of you have. And, of course, on the Patreon. There is free material on the Patreon. There's more cartoons coming up, along with all the other fun things. Cool. Take care, everyone. We will catch you all next week. Thank you for stopping by. Have a safe week. Keep an eye out on each other, and we'll get through the apocalypse together with cats and space art. Cheers, everyone. All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here. Let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. That just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know? I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.